We are live from the Sin Bin Stream Studios in my living room. Welcome to MLB action between the Chicago White Sox and Kansas City Royals from Kansas City, Missouri. Yep, looks like everything's good. So far, so good. Hope everybody's having a good day, enjoying your Wednesday, hump day. Excuse me. Alright. Less than 4 minutes till the scheduled first pitch. You know what? I didn't have a snack after dinner, late dinner, so let me grab something real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, I had one today, but I don't want to have oatmeal again. It's too hot today. If you're cold, I'll turn that fan off. It's probably gonna be hot upstairs. It'll be cool in the family room, and then we'll shut it off. Alright, apologies for eating on stream. Getting everything set up and just forgot to grab something. If you weren't with us yesterday, the White Sox lost in heartbreaking fashion in the bottom of the ninth. My dropped a pop-up at second. It hit him in the head. But they still should have thrown out the runner at second base from right field. They failed to do that. So the Sox, as you can see, are 10-26, and Kansas City improved to 21-16. Nick Maton was called up as the Sox put a player on the 10-day disabled list. Got the lineups here. Let's show you the Kansas City defense real quick. Waters, Maley, Biggio in the outfield, Garcia, Witt Jr., Massey, Perez in the infield, Waka and Maley. Whoops, sorry, I gotta fix that. Center field is Isabel. Apologies for that. There we go. Isabel in center. Or Isbell. Sorry about that. We'll get the Sox defense next inning. Alright, should be just about set here. First pitch, ball outside. Joshua Palacios, the right fielder, leading off in the left-hander's batter's box. Low. Nope, they called it a strike. It looked like it was low, but he caught the outside corner. Righty on the mound, Waka. Fouled off a changeup, 1-2. They're sitting, showing Mydroff and wearing a hoodie, walking in the dugout. He's got the night off. Fouled off a four-seam. We'll do the 1-2 pitch again. Oh yeah, I need like a pad for my elbow. Leaning on this drawer too long. Swing and missed on a slider. Nasty pitch, just a hair inside and low. Just off the plate. Good pitch. 85 mile per hour slider. One away here in the first. Alright. Waka in the windup. Oh, they called it a strike. There's a low strike zone. Yeah, Vargas didn't like it. He asked. Vargas, a right-handed hitter, facing the right-handed pitcher, Waka. Yeah, he asked, and ump said yes, but according to the digital box they got here, it was low. He hits a slider to third, fielded, and thrown across the diamond in time. 2 away, top of first. Alright, slider fouled off. It's Robert Jr. in the third spot of the order. There's the pitch. Hits a slider on the ground. Third base has it. Throws to first in time. That'll do it for the top of the first. As we head to the bottom half, the home half of the first inning. Alright, let me throw out my garbage. Be right back. Alright, we are back. Yeah, last night was a heartbreaker. White Sox were up 3-1. 3-2 in the bottom of the ninth, and Boozer was not good. Everything was high. He walked some people. Mydra dropped an easy pop at second base. Mydra. But the right fielder still should have thrown the guy out at second. And they blew an easy double play. Shortstop couldn't get the ball to second baseman Mydra. Oh yeah, let's get your White Sox defense up there. Baldwin, Robert Jr., Palacios in the outfield. Rojas, Amaya, Sosa, Vargas. Infield, Cannon to Tice, the battery for tonight. Alright, Jonathan Cannon winds up. Sinker, strike one. Garcia hitting .315 is up to bat. Wind up. And lined into right, 2 hopper to the first baseman single, leadoff hitter on here in the bottom of the first for the Kansas City Royals. Yeah, once again, here's the defense. All right. Runner takes his lead from first. Here's the throw. Four-seamer fouled. Straight back. Strike one. Whoops, sorry. I forgot to clear strike one. One on. One strike. It's Bobby Witt Jr. hitting .310. 4 homers, 19 RBI. There's the set. Missed on a four-seam fastball just outside the plate. Strike two, just off the corner, or the edge of the plate. Excuse me. All right, Cannon. He's set. Setting up inside. The catcher is fouled off a four-seam right down the middle of the plate. We'll do the 0-2 pitch again. All right. Throws to first. And, of course, CHSN can't cut to the camera quick enough. I mean, the play's already over, and the first baseman's throwing it back to the pitcher. I mean, they missed one yesterday in one of the first two games of the series. Here's the delivery. Bouncer. A sweeper. In the dirt. Low and outside. Ball one. All right, Cannon set. Here's the pitch. Sinker. Grounded to third. Over to second. Not in. Oh, the throw gets away. Not in time at first. But it's a 5-4 put out for the first out of the inning. So we still have a runner at first. Couldn't. Bobby Woods Jr. is too quick to. They wouldn't have turned it. But they held the runner at first. Rojas. Over to Sosa. Bad throw by Sosa. Wouldn't have got him. But he threw it towards the right field side of first base. And first baseman couldn't grab it. He's got the fastest sprint speed, they say, this season. 30.2 feet per second. Here's the pitch. Inside on a cutter. Almost hit him. Ball one. Pasquantino, the batter. Believe he's a lefty, because I think when Boozer was out there, I don't think he turned around. I gotta make sure I know these. All right, lefty batter's box. Cannon set, delivers a changeup, and it's hit sharply into right. Down the line, Palacios has it, and it's a single, and the runner on first took third. So runners at the corners, only one out. White Sox could use a double play here. Good swing of the bat by Pasquantino to drive that in down the right field line. Good job of getting to the ball, though, by Palacios to hold him to a single. I don't understand this gorilla outfit that they wear. I guess maybe it's supposed to be a Sasquatch for Pasquantino, like Sasquantino. I think that's what it is. All right, I'll stop talking about it. Here's the pitch. Sinker, line to third, over to second, to first in time. That's a double play. The Sox get out of it. 5-4-3 double play. They doubled up Perez, Rojas, to Sosa, to is that what, Vargas? Yeah. And we're done with the first inning. Good defense by the White Sox. So no runs on 2 hits for the, whoops, forgot to fix the inning. Make that end of first. All right. All right, let's see. We can look around the rest of the league. Whoops. Get this out of here. We need to refresh. I don't think was there any day games? Yeah, okay, we got plenty of day games to go through. All right, Dodgers win big in Miami, 10-1. Mets win big in Arizona, 7-1. Mariners get by the A's, 6-5. Cubs lose at home to the Giants, 3-1. Cardinals at home beat the Pirates, 5-0. Astros big over the Brewers in Milwaukee, 9-1. Guardians win in DC, 8-6. Later tonight, Tigers, Rockies, Blue Jays, Angels. End of the first, Orioles and Twins tied. Top 3, Reds up 3-0 in Atlanta. Philly up 1-0, middle of the third in Tampa. Yankees in New York are tied with the Padres 0-0. Rangers up in Boston 2-0, bottom 4. And we'll check the other sports later. All right, 4-seam, swung and missed, strike 1. Matt Tice is the batter. He's catching. He was the DH last night. Missed on a cutter. Strike 2. 87 miles per hour. Tice steps out of the box. Alright. Here's the pitch. Just inside on a 4-seam. Ball 1. Hard to lay off that one, but he did. Waka, 12 pitches already. There's the pitch. Taken high on a fastball. Ball 2. 4-seam. Royals are 4th in team ERA this season. Popped a changeup to the third baseman. He's under it. 1 away in the top of the second inning here. Let's get the NBA scoreboard ready. And we'll also get NHL ready. Here's the pitch. Grounder to short. And over to first in time. 6-3 ground out. And there's 2 away now. No, I didn't mean to hit that. Alright, so 2 away. Ooh, tough curveball, high, taken strike, ball 1. I mean, high in the strike zone still. One and one, ball 1. Apologies. Alright, here we go. Baldwin is up. Change up. Oh, it missed, but they called it a strike. It was outside. Baldwin's in the lefty batter's box. I think he's a switch hitter against the righty here, though. Okay, that was way outside. Ball 2. Man. All right. Brooks Baldwin hitting 250. They're setting up high. He fouls off a 4-seam fastball. We'll do it again. Still 2-2. The count. Waka, 3 seconds into his windup. Four seam fouled off again. 94 miles per hour. Oh, helmet a little wet. Must be raining just a touch here in Kansas City tonight. Alright, here's the pitch. Hits a changeup. Back to the pitcher. Throws late and wide. Sox have a base runner. Should be a single. It was to the third base side. It wasn't right back to the pitcher. Tough play. Okay, seriously, how is this possible? Alright. I'm assuming hit. Yeah, it was a hit. Alright, Rojas is the batter. He's in the left-handed batter's box. Left-handed batter's box. He's hitting 400. I don't think he's played a lot. He lines a cutter, a grounder into right field. Another hit with 2 away, and the Sox have runners at the corners. So back-to-back hits with 2 away, and the Sox have a runner in scoring position here. Just hit, yeah, he grounded it just past, between the first baseman and the second baseman. Into right field. All right, that'll bring up Sosa. 2 on, 2 out, top of the second. Sosa in the right-hander batter's box, setting up low. Pitch is a high slider, but it's in the zone for taken for strike 1. 252, 2 home runs, 10 RBI in 35 games for Sosa. All right, Waka's set. Here's the delivery. They're setting up high. He lines a fastball right at the right fielder. That'll do it for the top of the second. So, the Sox pick up 2 hits, but aren't able to pick up any runs. And we head to the middle of the second. No score. All right, let's check in on NHL. First intermission, Panthers and Maple Leafs tied at 1. Toronto took game 1. This is game 2 of the second round. Game is in Toronto. Stars at Jets later. That is the first game in their Western Conference. Essentially semifinal, second round matchup. All right, over in the NBA. Refresh later tonight. Nuggets Thunder. Huge win by Denver in Game 1 on that last second Jokic 3-pointer. All right, Knicks are down by 14, but they lead the series 1-0. They were down big in Game 1 and came back to win. Apologies. All right. Let's go back to baseball here. Get a refresh of the games in progress. 2-2 Rangers in Boston. Looks like Boston still batting in the 4th, tied it up. End of 3, Phillies up 1-0 in Tampa. End of 3, no score between Padres and Yankees. Reds up 3-0 on the Braves, bottom of the 3rd. Twins Orioles, top of 2nd, no score. And 2 more games to come tonight. All right, Biggio is the batter. All right, what do we got? Ball 1. Sorry, I didn't look over in time. Biggio hitting 184. He's in the 5 hole, or the 5 slot. 4 seam outside, ball 2. 1 homer, 3 RBI for Biggio. 322 on base percentage, though. All right. right, here's the delivery. Cutter. Hit in the air to right, down the line. Is that fair or foul? It's either a home run. It looks like a foul ball. Wow, that was close. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, this. Oh, I gotta figure out what the heck OPS is. They have the batting average. Yeah. Just comment if you know. So I don't have to look it up. All right, 2-1 the count. Here's the windup. Cannon delivers four-seam fastball driven to left. It's basically a pop-up caught for out number one in the bottom of the second. That was Baldwin who caught it. And coming up this week, tomorrow the White Sox at Royals Getaway Day at 1:10 p.m. Four-seam low, taken strike one. Friday night football at 7, UFL action. Then NBA doubleheader Saturday afternoon and evening. Michael Massey at the plate. Hits a cutter high in the zone. Shortstop is out into center and makes the catch. What a play for out number 2. Number 8, Amaya. And then Sunday, UFL, late morning, NBA mid-afternoon. All right, 2 away, bottom of the second. Yeah, Amaya with a great play. All right, they missed the pitch. I have to wait to see what it was. It's ball 1. They were so busy showing the replay, they missed a pitch. All right, Cannon set. Here's the windup. He fouled a four-seam off his foot for strike one. Waters is the batter. He's hitting 273. He's in the left-handed batter's box. Here's the pitch. Grounder on a changeup to first. Got it. Steps on the bag. It was Vargas. That'll end the inning. No score. As we head to the top of the third. And I need to fix this box here. The scoreboard. All right. Oof, man, my neck is. I gotta redo my setup here. My neck is hurting me. Oof. Doing 7. Come on, it should be 1080, right? Yeah, 1080. All right. Yeah, so the Sox will be playing the Marlins Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I won't be doing any of those games. Football, basketball. And I'll look. I think I'm doing the Sox Cubs next Friday, though. But then I think that's the only one I'm doing. All right, fouled off, strike one. Jacob Amaya in the right-handed batter's box. Waka throws a slider, nasty, taken, strike 2. Change up fouled off. We'll do the 0-2 pitch again. And he must have foul tipped a four-seamer up in the zone. Do it again. Maya 094. Oof. His batting average. Here's the slider low and outside. Ball 1. Alright, here's the delivery. Inside sinker. Ball 2. Wacko, 31 pitches as we start the third, or first batter of the third. Setting up inside, it's a fastball, grounded to short. Throw is in time, 1 away, top of third. Good play by the shortstop. And of course that's Bobby Witt Jr. Number 7 on the Royals. I remember his dad playing, he was a pitcher. Lefty can't hold up on the check swing on a cutter. Strike 1. It would have been a called strike, I believe, anyways. Alright, here's the pitch by Waka. Bouncer, a curveball inside. Ball 1. And it's Palacios. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Alright. Setting up high. The changeup grounded sharply to the second baseman. Over to first in time. 2 away in the home half of the third here. One, two, three. Yeah. Alright. Miguel Vargas in the right-handed batter's box. They're setting up high. He drives a curve into center, but center fielder has it. That ends the top of the third. We head to the bottom. No score. Alright, let's check out. Okay, they're just about to start the second period in Toronto. See if we're at halftime yet. Yep, at the half. Alright, the Knicks cut it to a 9-point lead. And let's see if there's any updates on these games. Rangers take the lead 3-2, still batting, top of the 5th. Padres get a run. They lead 1-0 in New York over the Yankees, bottom 4. Top of the 4th, Phillies up 1-0 in Tampa. Reds up 3-0 over the Braves in Atlanta, top 4. End of 2, no score, Orioles at Twins. And 2 more games later tonight. Bunch of afternoon games for getaway day, but not for the Sox. They've got an afternoon game tomorrow, 4-game set versus the division rival Kansas City Royals. And we got Maley, the catcher, due up, then Isbell, then back to the top of the order with Garcia. Cannon back on the mound for the third. Sox have dropped 2 straight to the Orioles. 3-0 in game 1 on Monday. 4-3 in a heartbreaker last night after giving up 2 in the bottom of the 9th. So we head to the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. Sinker taken, strike 1. Luke Maley, the catcher, number 15, hitting .333, 1 homer, 1 RBI. Here's the pitch, just high and maybe a hair outside. Ball 1 on a. I missed. I think it was a sinker. All right. Here's the pitch, sinker, grounder to second, throws to first in time, 1 away in the home half of the third. Oof. And they're getting hyped up for the game in Chicago, in Wrigley versus the Cubs, or I should say the series. All right, the batter is Isbell, hitting .247, taking ball, cutter high. Ball 1, 91 miles per hour. Cannon's thrown 24 pitches. 3 homers, 12 RBI for Isbell. Fouls off a cutter. It's into the stands behind the White Sox dugout. 1-1. Third base side, that is. Isbell in the lefty batter's box. Ugh, all right. 10 seconds on the pitch clock. Change up low, ball 2. Cannon set, wind up pitch, cutter, grounded foul down the first base side. 2-2, 1 out, bottom third, no score yet. 2 hits for each team. All right, catcher's setting up. Cannon in the windup. They're setting up outside. 4-seam high in the zone. Fouled off. We'll do it again. All right, here's the windup. Pitch. Hits a changeup on the ground to the first baseman. He takes it to himself. Steps on the bag for out number 2 in the bottom of the third. So now we see what happens the second time through the order with Garcia, the leadoff hitter, in the right-handed batter's box against the right-handed Cannon. 1-for-1 Garcia. Taken inside sinker, ball 1. All right. There's the pitch. Outside sinker, ball 2. All right, they changed the ball out. So we got a... All right, now he's set. Here's the delivery. Hits a sinker into the air between left and center. That's off the wall. Baldwin throws to third. Easy stand-up double for, apologies, Garcia. Sorry about that. So, 2-out double here in the bottom of the third. High pitch, and he just drove it into the gap between left and center. Thought it might be gone for a second, but Baldwin was just trying to play the carom, I guess. 10th double this year for Garcia. Number 11, the third baseman. All right, checks the runner. Here's the delivery to Bobby Witt Jr. Taken sinker. Strike 1. Wow, that was weird. I thought OBS just died for a second. It went blank and then flashed and came back. Checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Fouled off a high 4-seam. I mean, it was still in the zone, but just in the zone. 0-for-1. Grounded into a fielder's choice tonight. for Bobby Witt Jr., the shortstop. All right. Checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Fouls off a sweeper. It was just outside. Still 0-2. I need to give the Royals a hit here real quick. All right. Oh, a bouncer on a changeup. Good stop by the catcher. It's Miley. I'm sorry. That's the Royals. Maley. Sorry, Tice. Apologies. All right, ball one. Checks the runner. Here's the pitch. High, ball two on a four-seam fastball. Way up. I guess it wouldn't be too bad if you just put Witt Jr. on the... But you got Pasquantino, who's a lefty, on deck, and he's 1-for-1 tonight. So, hate to lose him after being 0-2, but, all right, checks the runner. Here's Cannon's pitch. Sinker, fouled off. Do it again. 93 miles per hour. Alright. Cannon set. Looks at second twice. Then throws. Changeup. Pop to second base. Caught for out number 3. That'll do it for the first 3 innings of the game. And we head to... Whoops. Let me get the runners off the base. Or the runner off the base. Head to top of the 4th. No score. Three hits for the Royals, 2 for the White Sox, a double for Garcia is the only extra base hit so far. All right, let's double check. Let's see what's going on. 2-2. Panthers Maple Leafs. Only 5 minutes into the second, so each team scored. We got Nylander 4:18 into the second, and before that, 15 seconds into the second period, Brad Marchand briefly gave him the lead, but for Florida, and Nylander tied it up. Later tonight, Stars Jets game 1 of that second round series in the Western Conference. All right, still at halftime, Celtics up 9 on the Knicks. Knicks lead 1-0 in the series. Nuggets later tonight, they lead the Thunder 1-0 in the series. All right, Red Sox 3-2. I'm sorry, Rangers 3-2 in Boston over the Red Sox, bottom 5. 1-0 Padres, top of the 5th in New York, playing the Yankees. Reds Braves, 4-0 Reds, bottom 4th. Phillies up 6-0 in Tampa, heading to the bottom of the 4th. Orioles up 1-0 bottom of the 3rd in Minnesota. There's the Sox game. And then later tonight, Tigers at Rockies, Blue Jays at Angels. So for now, nope, I gotta scroll like that. All right, Waka, 10 consecutive first pitch strikes. We got Robert Jr., Tice, and then Vaughn. Right-handed hitter takes ball 1 inside on a sinker. Oops, sorry, forgot to switch boards. Change up. Taken, strike 1. Alright, here's Waka's delivery. Bounces a slider outside and obviously low. Ball 2. And go ahead and walk Robert Jr. He'll steal second on you. Low and inside. Change up. Ball 3. in the windup. The delivery, sinker fouled off. Full count, 3-2. Fouled into the right, first base side stands. Late. He's got Luis Robert Jr. has 6 road homers in Kauffman Stadium, his most against. Fouled off a sinker, 94, I think it said. Still full count. Robert Jr. 0 for 1 tonight. All right, here's the pitch. Hits a cutter, a line out to short. First out here in the top of the 4th. 125 years of White Sox baseball. They're doing a 1940s varsity sweater, May 10th. First 15,000 fans that are 21 and over. Cool looking old school logo on it. All right. Here's Tice, the catcher. Takes a cutter. It looked like it caught the high outside corner, but they called. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, it is ball 1. I hit the wrong. I thought it was going to be a strike. Walk of 44 pitches. Here's number 45. High cutter, ball 2. Yeah, Tice catching tonight. He was catching last night. Here's the delivery. Setting up outside, and he misses with a 4-seam. 3-0. Fouls off a high 4-seam for strike 1. Tice steps out of the batter's box. Calls time. Readjusts the gloves. No, the strap. Steps into the left-handed batter's box. Here's Waka's delivery. Bounce, or no, ball 4. Almost in the dirt if it wasn't. 1 on, 1 out for the Sox in the top of the 4th. All right, in steps Andrew Vaughn, 0 for 1 and a ground out in the 2nd. He is the DH tonight. He's a right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch by the righty. A slider just caught the low outside corners for strike 1 taken. This will be Waka's 50th pitch of the night here in the top of the 4th. He's set. Here's the pitch. 4-seam fouled off. Strike 2. Only 15 balls out of those 50. Damn, 35 strikes. 0-2 pitch coming up. Here's the pitch. Low inside, a changeup, ball 1. Waka checks the runner at first. He's set. They're setting up outside. Cutter fouled off. Still 1-2. Pitch was pretty much right down the middle. The catcher was setting up a little bit outside. All right. Waka looks at the runner. He comes set. He picks his foot up. I'm thinking balk, but I guess not. Slider high, ball 2. All right. Set. Pitch. Swung out and missed on a high changeup, or he might have tipped it. Doesn't matter. Either way, it's a strikeout for out number 2 in the top of the 4th. Sox have a runner on first. 79-mile-per-hour changeup up. And Vaughn missed it. We got Baldwin up. High, changeup, ball one. Baldwin in the left-handed batter's box against the righty. Number 27, the left fielder tonight. 1-0. Here's the pitch. Changeup, driven to right, down the line. Oh, I think it was just foul. Into the netting. That didn't miss the fair pole by much. 1-1. Damn, that would have been a 2-0 lead here in the top of the fourth. Oh man, Baldwin didn't miss it by much. I didn't realize the screens came out that far now. I mean, I know they're trying to protect from foul balls, but... Alright, here's the pitch. Taken ball, high in the zone, a cutter. Ball two, and Baldwin has to step out to retie his shoe. 2-1 the count. I think they're showing a statue of, I assume, George Brett, probably in the outfield or in the maybe outside. They're setting up outside. The catcher, four-seam, just catches it. 2-2 is the count. Ball, strike two taken. Oh yeah, and then Brett's number 5 obviously is retired. Long-time third baseman, Hall of Famer for the Royals. And they're setting up outside again. Four-seam on the corner, called strike. Baldwin wasn't sure, but it was a strike. That'll do it for the Sox. We're headed to the bottom of the fourth. Still no score. Did I put mid-fourth? Yeah, is it still... Yep, 2-3. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Oh, can't go that way tonight. Alright, we are back. Oh, they do? Wait, do they still have one fountain in the outfield? No. I thought I just saw one. I know, Kauffman Stadium must have been remodeled. I had no idea. Alright, here we go with the bottom of the fourth. Pasquantino, the lefty, or in the left-handed batter's box. He's the DH tonight. Fouls off a cutter, strike one. Cannon, 40 pitches now. And four-seam just catches the top of the outside corner. What just happened? Oh, I collapsed the one thing. All right, here we go. Change up way outside. Ball one. 1-2. And Pasquantino's 1 for 1. He had a single in the first tonight. Here's the windup. And change up grounded, just foul down the right field line. Ball boy gets it, or ball person gets it. by the tarp. All right, we got 1 and 2. Leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Taken high, a sinker, ball 2. Come on, Cannon, go after him. Don't walk past Squantino. Here's the windup. Pitch. Cutter missed. He is out. Strikeout. Out number 1. Missed it. Great pitch. Couldn't catch up to an 89-mile-per-hour cutter. Just under it. All right, here's Cannon's windup to the righty, Perez. He hits a cutter high into center at the warning track. Caught by Robert Jr. on the run. Makes the catch. 2 away now in the 4th. Good hustle by number 88 for the White Sox defense. Just drove a cutter on the outside corner of the plate. And he got it right at the couple steps on the warning track, and had to brace himself as he came in contact with the outfield wall. All right, we got Biggio in the left-handed batter's box. He's 0 for 1, 180 on the year. Catches the 4-seam, takes it strike 1 just on the outside edge of the plate. Fly out in the 2nd, 0 for 1 for Biggio. Here's the a bouncing changeup, ball 1. Cannon at 48 pitches now. 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. Setting up outside. Cutter driven to right. That's a base hit. Single. Palacios throws it to second. 2 outs here in the, apologies, forgot, strikeout, fly out. I may have said 1 out. All right. 2 out, 1 on. Michael Massey in the left-handed batter's box. 0 for 1, pop out in the 2nd. He drives a grounder into center. Another hit. And Biggio gets the 3rd. Runners at the corners with 2 outs for the Royals. Yeah, he hit a grounder past the second baseman into center. Biggio easily rounded 2nd and headed to 3rd. All right, runners at the corners. 1st and 3rd, 2 away in the bottom of the 4th. Waters is the batter in the left-handed box. He misses on a low changeup, strike 1. Waters, number 8. He's the left fielder tonight. I think they've had a different left fielder every game so far of this series. The Royals, that is. All right, here's the pitch. Changeup grounded down the first base line. Throw to first just in time. Good play by Cannon. And that'll do it for the first 4 innings tonight. No runs, 5 hits for the Royals. No runs, 2 hits for the White Sox. And I need to fix the mid-inning. Here we go. Nope, not the defense. Not that. There we go. Apologies. Getting used to the buttons. All right, we got Rojas, Sosa, and Amaya. So the 7, 8, and 9 hitter due up for the Sox. Checking in. We'll get a quick refresh. Panthers in Toronto. 2-2, 6:44 to go. Maple Leafs up 1 game to nothing in the second game of this series. All right, let's see what they're doing in the second half. In Boston, it's now a 16-point lead. 4:51 to go in the 3rd. I think they were down about this in game 1 and came back, but that may be too much, 2 games in a row to overcome. All right, let's check in on baseball here. Rangers up 3-2, bottom of the sixth in Boston. Padres up 1-0 over the Yankees in New York. And yep, as the alert says, Padres pitcher has a no-hitter going. Not a perfect game because the defense committed an error. But 1-0 as we head to the top of the sixth. So through 5, he's got a no-hitter. And that is, well, we can check later. 6-0. Phillies in Tampa. Reds up 4-0 in Atlanta. Twins at home up 3-1 on the Orioles. And let's get back. Good play by the pitcher. Good throw. And good job fielding the throw by Vargas. All right. Driven deep to left down the line and caught for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. I don't even know. I mean, I know I was looking away, but jeepers. Okay, so that was Rojas. Sosa up. Yeah, it was deep. Warning track down the line, but it was caught. 1 away. All right, taking 4-seam fastball. Strike 1. Sinker driven down the left field line, shattered his bat, foul ball. He'll get a new piece of lumber. That bat almost went, would have almost nailed the third baseman if he had been playing in at all. Oh, it took such a funny split. All right, Sosa with a new bat. 1 out, 0-2 on the count. Waka steps off. We call time. Sosa 0 for 1. He's hitting 250 on the year. Here's the pitch. A bouncer that he swung on for strike 3 on a changeup in the dirt. Damn. What are you chasing there, Sosa? Come on. All right, 2 away. Top of the 5th. We have Amaya, the shortstop. 0 for 1 tonight. Right-handed. Cutter must have gone or he called it. It was just outside, but I think he had a ground out in the 3rd. 6 RBI in the year. Here's the pitch. Lines a slider into center, caught for the end of the inning. Out number 3. So we head to the bottom of the 5th with no score. Halfway through the game. All right. Let's double check. Yeah, 2-5. All right. Do I have the hits right on this one? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, if the game goes extras, I can't do, I won't be able to do that type of box. Is there any way to customize? No. Let me double check. Logos off. Layout. Yeah, I don't think I can customize the number of innings. Didn't even think of that. Alright, I don't really use that one much anyways, but it does show the team records if I put them in. Yeah, can you? Yeah, you can't. Interesting. Alright, we're in the bottom of the 5th, no score. Let's check in on now heading to the bottom of the sixth. 1-0 Padres in New York taking on the Yankees. So 2 times through the order, no hits for the Yankees yet. So we head for their 3rd time through the batting order. And there was an error by the Padres, so just a no-hitter. Who's the pitcher? Cease. C-E-A-S-E. All right, sinker taken, strike 1 to the right-handed batter. Whoops. It's Luke Maile, the catcher, number 15. Hits a sweeper into left for a base hit. Single. Leadoff hitter on base for the Royals in the home half of the 6th inning. Whoops, what am I clicking on here? And just a reminder, this week, White Sox tomorrow afternoon, Friday night football, ball 1 taken on a cutter high. Saturday, NBA doubleheader, afternoon and evening, and Sunday, early UFL football and afternoon NBA. All right, swung on and missed on a high cutter, strike 1. Isbell is the batter, 0 for 1. He's the 9th place hitter in the lefty batter's box. 1 on, nobody out, top of the order, on deck, and then, of course, Bobby Witt Jr. in the hole. Garcia on deck, Witt Jr. in the hole. Here's the pitch by Cannon. Oh, a cutter shatters the bat. First baseman on his belly, throws it to Cannon at first, and Vargas is hurt. The runner advances to second, and Vargas not moving. Hope he's okay. I don't know if he got hit by the bat, maybe. Yeah, he did. That's why he fell down. He just absolutely sawed him off. And the bat, he basically had the nub, above his 2 hands, and that was it. And the bat hit him in the leg, and that's why he was on the ground. And the trainers are out looking at him. Oof. Still had the presence of mind to roll over and throw the ball to the pitcher, Cannon, covering first. So that's a 3-1 ground out. So we have a delay while they take a look at Cannon's foot or shin. He's up on his feet. We'll see if he stays in at first base. Wow, that bat just shattered, and huge piece just came right at him while he tried to make the play. And he luckily was still fielded the ball with his bare hand, and Carter stepped on the bag to still get the out. But heads up play by Vargas. But yeah, good job of Cannon covering first. Second baseman was getting there too. All right, Vargas is warming up. I guess he's staying in. All right, he's all right. Good. That's a good thing. All right, checking the runner at second. Here's the pitch. A sweeper taken by Garcia for strike 1. He is 2 for 2 tonight. Single and a double. 4 home runs, 15 RBI on the season. Cannon looks at second. Here's the pitch. Change up, grounded to third. They hold the runner, throw to first in time. 2 away. Good play by Rojas. 2 outs. Do you just, I don't know. Pasquantino's a lefty, so I guess you don't walk Bobby Witt Jr. here. He's a righty, so they'll go after him with 2 away. But there's a runner in scoring position. Here's the pitch low and outside on a sweeper, ball 1. Bobby Witt Jr. 0 for 2 tonight. 60 pitches for Cannon here with 2 away in the 5th. Sinker driven to left, back at the warning track, gone, home run. 2-run lead for the Royals as Bobby Witt Jr. circles the bags. Thought he jammed him, but he just turned on it and gives the Royals a 2-0 lead here in the home half of the 5th. How many hits is that? 7. Okay, got it. Oh, apologies. Gave it to the wrong team. Sorry about that. Make sure I got it right. Yep. All right. Strike 1. Apologies, missed. Strike 2. I'm trying to fix stuff. Apologies. All right, here we go. Cannon's in his windup, and they're showing the Royals dugout. 4-seam on the corner low, but he calls it a ball. That should have been strike 3 to Pasquantino here. 2 away in the 5th. Here's the bouncer on a changeup, 2-2. So a 2-run homer by Bobby Witt Jr. gives the Royals a 2-0 lead. Still batting in the bottom of the 5th. All right, 2-2. Cannon set, wind up, pitch, inside, sinker, almost hit him. Full count. Yeah, he just got the barrel of the bat around. He brought his hands in and drove that. All right, here's the pitch. Cutter lined to right field for another hit. And Palacios gets it in to limit it to a single. 2 away. Royals still batting here and of course the stupid Sasquatch has to come out. This is so dumb. I don't even know if I'd like this if I were a Royals fan. I just don't get it. So Sasquatchino, I don't know what they're going for. 67 pitches for Cannon. All right, the pitching coach is out to talk to Cannon. I think they're just talking about their approach to Perez with Biggio on deck. Perez is a righty. He hit one hard, I think, last at bat, if I remember right. I think it was a deep fly out. I'm pretty sure Robert Jr. got it in center on the warning track. The left center, the alley in left center, not deep center. All right, deep breath out of Cannon. Again, 67 pitches. Perez 0 for 2, a righty. Bouncing sweeper, ball 1, low outside, and low, obviously. Oh, gosh, my elbow and my wrist starting to hurt here. All right. Cannon set. Here's the 1-0 pitch. 4-seam fouled off. Strike 1. Runner at first, 2 down, but a 2-0 lead. Perez with a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Taken inside. Sinker, ball 2. Cannon at 70 pitches with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. There's Cannon's windup. A cutter grounded, fielded at third, over to second. 5-4 ground out, and that'll do it for the 5th, but not before a 2-run homer by Bobby Witt Jr. gives the Royals a 2-0 lead through 5 innings. That goes from, it counts each of them up by 1. I just saw that live. All right, let's check in on Toronto. 3-2, Leafs take the lead, already into the second intermission. Refresh on this Knicks Celtics game. Through 3 quarters or 3 periods. When they say quarter of a game, not an hour though. 73-61, 12-point lead for the Celtics in Game 2. They were up that in Game 1 and blew it. No-hitter still through 6 in New York. Yankees get no hit as the Padres bat in the top of the 7th with a 1-0 lead. Rangers, Red Sox tied up in Boston 3-3. Phillies up 7-0 in Tampa. 4-1 Reds leading in Atlanta. Orioles trailing in Minnesota 3-2. Top of 5. Ooh, that was a good crack. Know your socks. Know your socks. Will Venable, the manager. Who would throw the best barbecue? Drew Butera. Favorite barbecue side? Coleslaw. Favorite game at a barbecue? Cornhole. All right. Curveball taken. Strike 1. Here. To the leadoff hitter in the 6th. It is Palacios, top of the order for the Sox. Fouls off a 4-seamer, 0-2. Waka now at 67 pitches. Strikeout and ground out, 0-2 for Palacios, the right fielder, number 47, in the left-handed batter's box. Here's the delivery. Changeup grounded down the first base line. Yep. Perez touches the bag. Out number 1. Palacios was hoping it would go foul, but it did not. All right, 1 away. Top of 6. And we're not even in 75 minutes into the game yet, so not bad. Through 5. All right, the right-hander Vargas 0-2. Here's the pitch. Driven the cutter into the gap in left center. That gets down for a hit. Can he make it to second in time? He will. As the throw gets away. And the third baseman gets it. Vargas quickly gets back to the bag. But the Sox have a runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the 6th inning. First extra base hit for the White Sox. A double by Vargas. 2-hopper, picked it up just before the warning track. Vargas had to get hustling between first and second, but actually he stood up. Yeah, the throw got away, and then he had to get hustle back to the bag when the third baseman threw. All right, here's the delivery by Waka. Sinker, grounder to short, throws to first in time. Runner advances to third, but we have 2 away in the top of the 6th. All right, maybe Waka throws a wild pitch, or we get a melee pass ball, and the Sox cut into the lead, or maybe we can get another hit here. Only 3 with 2 outs in the 6th. All right, in the left-handed batter's box, it's Tice, 0-1, pops or fouls a cutter into behind the third base line into the stands. Strike 1. All right. Pitch Change up, grounded to first, tossed to the pitcher in time. That's it for the Sox in the top of the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Royals 2, White Sox nothing. A double for Vargas off of Waka and 2 singles, and that's it. White Sox have only Tice has a walk. That's it. Whereas the Royals have 8 hits, including a double and the 2-run homer by Bobby Witt Jr. in the 5th. No, they don't have any walks either. No errors. No hit by pitches. So good job by both pitchers so far. Just that one mistake to Bobby Witt Jr. by Cannon. Alright, let's check in on hockey. Oh, that's right. They're still at the second intermission. Let's see how we are in the 4th here in Boston. Still up 14 with 8:20, just under 8.5 to go, 8:27. Checking in on New York. Still got a no-hitter for Cease. Yankees batting in the bottom of the 7th. 1 error for the Padres. I haven't checked on the walks or anything yet. It's too bad that grounder to short and then the grounder to first. Wasted double by Vargas with 1 out. Alright, here's Cannon's first pitch, high and outside. Ball 1, and a fastball. Whoops. Yeah, ball 1. It's Biggio in the left-handed batter's box. He's 1 for 2. Hits a 4-seam. And it's pop up to center. Caught by Robert Jr. 1 away. No, I was screwing up the out. Alright, what are we doing? Oh, they're showing minor league highlights. Great. Okay, come on. I bet you they miss a pitch. I almost guarantee it. 4-seam inside on the left-handed batter, or in the lefty batter's box. Ball 1. It's Massey, who's 1 for 2, batting 6th tonight. Taken 4-seam, strike 1. He had a single in the 4th. 1 homer, 12 RBI in the season. Cutter low, ball 2. Come on, go after him. Alright, they're showing Cannon's feet as Cutter's fouled back. For strike 2. 2-2 is the count. I just don't understand CHSN. They don't cover hockey particularly well either. Alright, here's the pitch. Low. Ball 3. Full count. 1 away. In the bottom of the 6th. Cannon at 78 pitches. Catcher sets up a little bit high. Cutter popped up near the dugout. Given chase and caught in foul territory by the catcher, Tice. 4 out, number 2. Good play by the defense. 3, 2, 8 with Let's see, 0328. That's right. 0328. All right. Here is Waters, 0 for 2. Sweeper inside, ball 1. Waters hitting 7th. In the left-handed batter's box, 4-seam high, ball 1. Or ball 2, sorry. Here's the windup. Cutter taken high, but in the zone, strike 1. 9 groundouts, 2 flyouts, 1 strikeout for Cannon tonight. Here's the pitch. Low changeup swung on and missed for strike 2. Even the count for Cannon. 83 pitches here with 2 away in the bottom of the 6th. Only gave up a 2-run homer in the 5th to Bobby Witt Jr. Otherwise, he's pitched a gem. 4-seam driven to right. On the run, 1 hopper to Palacio. Single. Man at first, 2 away in the home half of the 6th here for the Royals. Why did I say anything? So that was what? Waters? This is the catcher, Maley. All right. We have, he's 1 for 2 with single in the 5th. Score a run. Sinker misses away. Ball 1. Number 15, Maile. M-A-I-L-E. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me. All right, here's the pitch. Fouled off a sinker for strike 1. Showing Perez in the Kansas City dugout. Throw to first. Have no idea what happened. CHSN never cut to the camera. He was safe, obviously, but they so bad. It's pretty easy broadcasting. Cut to the camera when he throws to first. Here's the pitch. Taken high. Throw to second. Safe on a stolen base. So the count goes to 2-1. Tice couldn't throw it in time. High pitch. Good jump by the runner. Throw was just a hair high. I mean, it was, chest high, but number 8, who is that? Apologies. Forgot. Sorry, I forgot who got on with the stolen base. Was it Waters? Yeah. All right, 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Sinker, strike 2, taken. All right. Maile steps out, readjusts the straps on his gloves. Lead taken by Waters from second. Cannon checks the runner, throws way high on a 4-seam. Oops, what did I do? I hit the wrong button. 3-2 count. Sorry, that got messed up. All right, 2 away, 3-2 count, full count. Man at second. Cannon checks the runner. Sinker grounded to short, over to first in time. That does it for the first 6 innings in the game here. We head to the top of the 7th. White Sox 0 and the Royals 2. That is okay. 0-3 and 2-9. Yep. All right. Let's check in on New York real quick. And the Yankees broke the no-hitter and they tied the game up. 1-1. Still batting, bottom of the 7th. 5-3 Red Sox. They got 2 in the 7th. After 1 in the 6th, take the lead over the Rangers. Phillies have a touchdown in Tampa. Top of 7. Reds up 1 over the Braves, 4-3. Top 7. And the Twins up at home over the Orioles, 3-2. Top of 6. Alright, in Toronto, just underway in the 3rd, still 3-2 Maple Leafs. In game 2, and they lead the series 1-0. Alright, in the 4th quarter, Celtics lead by 9 with 5:05 to go. And we got a nice ad. Can I just scroll? It's muted. Alright, we're good. CPU usage seems okay. Yeah. No drop frames here tonight for OBS. Alright. Top of the 7th. Sox need to get something going soon here. Down to their last 9 outs. Ball 1 on a curveball. To Vaughn. He is 0 for 2. Waka, 73 pitches. Pitching. Setting up inside. 4-seam high. 2-0. Vaughn, the DH tonight. Hitting 5th in the order. Drives a cutter into center. Back near the warning track. Caught by Isbell on the run. 1 away. Good swing on the ball, but Isbell tracked it down just short of the warning track. 75 pitches now for Waka as the White Sox have 1 away here in the 7th. Baldwin is up now. Good play by Isbell. Here's the pitch to Baldwin. He fouls off a high 4-seam. I mean, it was going to be a strike, but right at the line. Baldwin's 1 for 2. He had a single in the 2nd. 3 homers, 15 RBI in the season. From the left-handed batter's box. The pitch by the righty. Inside, cutter, ball 1. Alright. High, ball 2. Two and 1 pitch taken. Fastball, strike 2. Sox bullpen gets warmed up. 2 righties. Sinker on the inside corner, strike 3, taken. I don't think Baldwin liked it, but whoops, sorry, I forgot to 0 out. Wait, is that 1 or 2 outs? No, I think that's 2 already, isn't it? Yeah. All right, 2 away, top of 7. Curve on the inside corner, strike 1, taken. Here's the pitch. He lines a cutter in just almost into the, or a grounded cutter almost into the KC dugout. Man, first base side. 1 for 2 with a single in the 2nd for Josh Rojas, number 5, the 3rd baseman, from the left-handed batter's box. Catcher setting up high. Now he goes low, and it's a bouncing changeup for ball 1. 1 and 2 the count. Waka, 83 pitches. Rojas batting 7th tonight. Come on. 5 seconds on the pitch clock. And timeout taken by Rojas with 3 seconds. All right, nobody on, 2 away already here in the top of the 7th. White Sox down to their last 7 outs of the game. Here's the pitch. Hits a changeup, grounds it to second, over to first in time. That ends the inning. So 4-3 on the ground out. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Royals still up 2-0. Only 3 hits for the Sox through 7 innings. All right, 16 minutes to go in Toronto. Leafs up 3-2. All right. Whoa, the Knicks have cut it to 4 with 2:43 to go. It was like 16, either late in the third or same thing as like game 1. So this should be a good finish here again, game 2. All right, let's check, see if we can get a refresh here. What the heck? Did something end already? Oh yeah, the Dodgers beat the Marlins 10-1. No, I think Mets over the D-backs 7-1. Mariners beat the A's 6-5. Giants beat the Cubs 3-1. Pirates lose in St. Louis 5-0. Astros win in Milwaukee 9-1. Guardians in DC win 8-6. Tigers Rockies up 3-0 bottom of the 2nd. Blue Jays Angels later tonight. But did one more game finish? No, I guess not. They just changed the order. They switched these 2 games. Philly against Tampa and the Padres against the Yankees. They just switched them for some reason. Coming up this week, again, the getaway, wrong button. Game 4 of the series at 1:10 tomorrow afternoon. Friday night UFL football. Isbell 0 for 2. Takes a curveball. Strike 1. Then Saturday NBA doubleheader. Then UFL and NBA Sunday. Here's the pitch. Grounded, a curveball, foul, 0-2. Oh, Freeman's on to pitch. Apologies, didn't realize the Sox changed. Cannon, 6 innings, 2 runs, 9 hits, both earned. 1 strikeout, gave up a homer. And Freeman here for the 7th. 4-seam fouled off. Still 0-2. All right, Freeman is set. Here's the pitch. Fouled off a high 4-seam. Still 0-2. Freeman wearing number 68. This is Isbell, the center fielder. He is the 9th place hitter in the Royals lineup tonight. Here's the pitch. Curveball, grounded into right field. That's a leadoff single for the Royals in the 7th. Now let me reset the count. There we go. Alright, that'll bring the top of the order. Garcia, the 3rd baseman. He's 2 for 3 tonight. He shows bunt. He bunts it to first. And the first baseman tagged him. 1 away. Good play. but the runner advances to second. Good play by Vargas. Here's the replay. Boy, I don't know. Did he tag him? I guess so. Garcia never touched the bag either. All right. Freeman, 6 pitches. 1 out. Runner in scoring position for the Royals. Freeman looks at the runner. Now he checks, goes to the plate with the ball. Curveball low in the dirt. Ball 1. Who's the bat? Oh, great. It's Bobby Witt Jr., who hit a 2-run homer in the 5th. He's 1 for 3 tonight. 5 homers, 21 RBI on the season. Here's the pitch. Curveball inside. Ball 2. I don't know. Do you put him on? The problem is Pasquantino's a lefty. And do you... Alright, well, here we go. Freeman delivers. Taken 4-seam for strike 1. 96 miles per hour. Freeman's wearing number 68. Right-handed hitter. Right-handed pitcher. Freeman delivers. Witt fouls off a curveball. Was inside. Strike 2. Yeah, we know. He hit a home run to left. Just off the Sonic sign and left. .392 feet to left. Here's the pitch. Fouled off a 4-seamer. Still 2-2. 96 miles per hour. All right, righty on righty. 2-2 pitch, 1 away in the 7th. Runner at second. Here's the pitch. Slider, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Great battle back there by Freeman. I believe it was 2-0 before he gets the strikeout and a bunch of foul balls. So we have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. And Freeman's getting the hook. We're getting a pitching change because they have a lefty, Pasquantino. Pitcher change in the bottom of the 7th. That's the delay. All right, let's check in on Toronto, shall we? All right, still 4-3, 13:54 to go. Leafs still up 1, and they're up 1-0 in the series. All right, from Boston, the Knicks took a 1-point lead with 25.4 seconds to go. Is it another choke job by Boston? All right, let's go around the league here. Red Sox up 6-3, bottom 8 over the Rangers. Rays down a touchdown at home to the Phillies, top 8. 1-1 in New York between the Padres and the Yankees. 4-3 Reds over the Braves in Atlanta, top 8. And Orioles trailing in Minnesota 3-2, bottom 6. Rockies up 3-0, top of 3. Blue Jays Angels later tonight. Back to Boston. Let's get one last refresh. They're probably at a timeout, I'm guessing. Alright, we'll check back later. Did something update? No. Alright. Alright, the lefty, Gilbert, facing Pasquantino. 2 for 3. He hits a Drive deep to center, but not even at the track. Caught by Robert Jr. for the third out of the inning. So, through 7, it is Royals 2, White Sox nothing as we head to the top of the 8th. I will fix the other board here. Yeah, what did I... Okay, I gotta fix this. Let's check in on the NBA. Quickly refresh. 18 and a half seconds. Now the Celtics are up 1. Alright, let's kill the ad. Clear off the runner. Top of the 8th. Nobody out. Alright. So, probably more timeouts. Still 4-3 Maple Leafs over the Panthers in game 2. 12:46 now to go. Probably at a timeout. Yep. Probably not going to get any resolution before the game comes back here for the top of the 8th. Well, Sox need to get the bats warmed up and get something going here. Shutout in game 1. Lost in a heartbreaker 4-3 last night in game 2 when they led 3-2 heading to the bottom of the 9th. And we got Lucas Urseg on in relief. Number 60, a righty, facing the right-handed batter. Sinker fouled off, strike 1. That's Sosa. Alright. Gotta fix another box score here. Another foul off by Sinker, 0-2. Sosa 0 for 2 tonight. 0-2 count. Top of the 8th. Sox down to their last 6 outs. Slider just outside. Ball 1. Line out and strikeout for Sosa. Urseg delivers. Fouled off his 4-seam. Sosa did. 98 miles per hour. Still 1-2 count to the leadoff hitter here in the 8th. We're to the 8th spot in the White Sox batting order. Wonder if we'll have a pinch hitter for Amaya next. Here's the pitch. Oh, he chased a slider in the dirt. Strike 3. He did that. Yeah, I swear, I think he did that earlier, too. Or did I say line out? And I already forgot. No, wait, let's look. Sosa. Yeah, 2 strikeouts. Yeah, he chased 2 bad pitches in the dirt. 1 away, top of 8. Waka was great. Now we're facing Urseg. Nick Maton is pinch hitting a lefty. Number 0. Yep, there it is on the box. Bouncing slider, ball 1. A single 0, not double 0, just 0. Oh, I think that's the guy they called up. Here's the pitch. He misses a 4-seam fastball, 98 miles per hour. Strike 1. Urseg, 7 pitches here in the 8th. Setting up outside. Slider grounded down the right make that the first base line foul. Strike 2. Yeah, so we have the Kansas City game tomorrow at 1:10. Then the Sox play the Marlins for 3. Off Monday. 3 at Cincinnati to play the Reds. So we'll probably we'll have those 3 games against Cincinnati, I think. And then maybe the Cubs game Friday afternoon, but probably nothing else for the Chicago, Crosstown Classic in the rest of the series. All right, change up in the dirt, ball 2. What is going on? OBS just flicked out. Uh-oh. Maybe I don't know what is going on with OBS tonight. No drop frames. All right, here's the pitch. Fouled off a 4-seam. No, he missed it. Sorry. Strike 3. I thought it got fouled off. 2 away here in... I don't know why I thought it was fouled off. Sorry. Oh, the catcher, they threw it so quick to third. Maybe that's what I saw. All right. Top of the order, Palacios in the left-handed batter's box. Chases a slider low. Strike 1. Missed. 0 for 3. Strikeout and 2 groundouts. 1 homer, 4 RBI in the season. Batting 182. Setting up outside. Here's the pitch. Changeup fouled off. It was low. That probably, but it would have been in the zone. Strike 2. Sox down to their last 4 outs. Looking at getting shut out for the second time in 3 nights. Unless they can turn it around here. Palacios lays off a slider low in the dirt. Ball 1. Palacios, number 47, the right fielder. The right-handed Urseg. Set. The catcher sets up outside. 4-seam fastball. Fouled off. Still 1-2. All right. Palacios steps back into the batter's box. The left-handed side. 8 seconds on the pitch clock. Catcher setting up outside. It's another slider in the dirt. Ball 2. So he just must be faking to the outside so the hitter can't check where the catcher is out of the corner of his eye, and then the slider just bounces in the dirt. Unless Urseg is just wild tonight. 4-seam fouled off. We'll do the 2-2 again. 97 miles per hour. That was pitch number 16. 2 outs. 2-2 count. Urseg wants a new ball. All right, 2 away, top of the 8th, trailing by 2. 2-2 count. Down to their last 4 outs. Catcher pointed high. Now he sets up low. Changeup swung on and missed. Strike 3. That'll do it for the Sox. Here in the top of the 8th. Still haven't scored as we head to the bottom of the 8th. 2-0 Royals. Alright, let's check in on... Let's refresh here. And the Knicks do it again and win by 1 in Game 2 after trailing big in the second half by like 16 again. And the Celtics lose the first 2 games of the 7-game series at home. The Eastern Conference semifinals, the second round of the playoffs. Nuggets coming up for Game 2 in Oklahoma City, and they won by 1 in Game 1. So, great week for the NBA thus far. All right, let's check in on Toronto. 8:01 to go. They still are up by 1. And in baseball, Red Sox still up 6-4, top of the 9th. Rays trailing in the top of the 9th to the Phillies, 7-0. Padres up 3-1 on the Yankees, bottom of the 8th. Reds up 4-3 still, bottom 8th in Atlanta. And the Twins lead at home over the Orioles 3-2, top of 7th. Tigers tied it up with 3 in the 3rd as they head to the middle, as they're headed to the bottom of the 3rd. 3-3. Blue Jays Angels coming up shortly. All right, Chase Mydroth takes over at short after they pinch hit for Amaya with Maton, the call up. All right, this is Perez. He's got strike 1 on him. He swings and misses at a cutter for strike 2. What the heck is going on? I can't slide up there. All right. 0-2 pitch from Gilbert, the lefty, to Perez, a righty. Cutter fouled off, still 0-2. Number 40, Gilbert, the lefty. Here's the pitch. Splitter hit high to left. Not even at the track. Baldwin is under it for out number 1. Right. 1 second. Sox inning update with Ozzie Guillen and the studio host. I don't know what's going on in the game. What's the Sox? No, we're ready. Canha pitch. Is he pinch hitting? Yeah, for Biggio. Knuckle curve taken, strike 1. Canha 303 in 16 games, no homers, 2 RBI, 364 slugging, 385 on base percentage. Here's the pitch. Oh, I just missed. Yeah, that was outside. Ball 1 on a cutter. Oh, 2-0. What the? Are they correct? I don't always trust CHSN's count either. Taken sinker, strike 1. If they're correct. All right. Here's the pitch. Setting up inside. Cutter high into center. Robert Jr. is under it for out number 2. All right. Gilbert, 9 pitches. This is Massey in the left-handed batter's box. He's 1 for 3. Takes a sweeper, strike 1, 82 miles per hour. Massey had a single in the 4th. 1 homer, 12 RBI on the season. He's hitting 200. Here's the pitch. Chases a sweeper, low and away, strike 2. Nasty pitch by Gilbert. Into his set. Wind up. The leg kick. 4-seam misses outside. Ball 1. Lefty on lefty. Alright. Gilbert set. Here's the leg kick. Sweeper low. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. We're through 8. Still 2-0 Royals as we head to the top of the 9th. and the White Sox last chance. And we'll see who comes on to pitch for the Royals. Already forgot. Well, it's right. They weren't in a safe position last night, but at Monday they were. I already forgot who pitched. Whoops. Let's get this corrected. All right, 4-3. Maple Leafs up. 4:26 to go. In game 2, they have a 1-0 series lead as well. All right. Still pregame. Other game should be coming up shortly. Anything end from these games? Let me get a refresh. Yeah, I think something ended. Did they put them at the bottom? Yeah. Red Sox win at home to go get to 500 at 19-19. Rangers dropped to 18-19. 6-4 win. Chapman with the save. Bernardino with the win. Webb with the loss. All right, Estevez is on to pitch for the Royals here in the top of the 9th. Oh, 3 hits for the White Sox, who are getting shut out through 8 innings. It's 2-0. Estevez 10 saves and 12 opportunities. He picked up the save Monday night in the 3-0 win. Tonight he has a 2-0 lead. He has a 4-seam fastball, slider, and a changeup. 4-seam driven to center. 1, 2, 3 hops to the wall, and that's a leadoff double for the White Sox. That was Vargas, who's now 2 for 4 tonight with 2 doubles. He had one off of Waka as well. All right, come on, Sox. Get the bats going. Yeah, driven into the alley. Closer to center, though. 8th double this season, 2 tonight for Vargas. Here's the pitch. Slider low. Now they said he swung. I didn't think he did. I don't think Robert Jr. likes that call either. Wow. Show the replay. I guess. It was close. All right. 0-1 pitch. 2 seconds on the pitch clock. 1. Here's the pitch. Outside on a slider. Ball 1. Robert Jr. 0 for 3 tonight. 2 ground outs and a line out. Only hitting 183. Briefly, there's a slider. Fair ball into left field, down the line, into the corner. That should score. And Robert Jr. has to hold at first with a single. So the Sox finally get a run to cut the lead to 2-1. Yeah, great hit. Terrible camera work. I wasn't sure it was fair. It would hit the line. Slow call by the ump, and Waters got the ball back in. But look for Robert Jr. to steal here, possibly. All right, the Sox are back in it. It's 2 hits out of their 5 in this inning. All right, Hunter Renfroe in right field. Estevez has thrown 4 pitches, given up a double and a single and a run. Perez will hold on Robert Jr. at first, but look for him to get going. Here's the pitch high, ball one, four seam. The bat, yeah, he's tied for the league with 15. Actually, in the major leagues, it's the Pirate O'Neal Cruz, who also has 15 stolen bases with Luis Robert Jr. Here's the pitch, fouled off a fastball, maybe he missed it. Strike one. The batter is Matt Tice, 0 for 2, a walk in the fourth. He is the catcher tonight. He DH'd last night. In the left-handed batter's box, righty pitcher Estevez. Here's the pitch. Slider grounded into right. Another single. And Robert Jr. has to hold at second. So 2 on and nobody out. Sox threatening again here in the ninth. They already have 1 run this inning. They've got half of their 6 hits here in the ninth. All right. 7 pitches, 3 hits given up, and a run. Michael Taylor will pinch run for the catcher, Tice, as Vaughn, the DH, heads to the plate. 0 for 3 and a strikeout. Righty hitter, righty pitcher. Checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. High, 4-seam, ball 1. Ground out, strikeout, line out for Andrew Vaughn. 3 homers, 14 RBI. Batting 184. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Strike 1. Come on, Vaughn. Number 53, Estevez. Checks second base. Here's the pitch. Slider fouled off. Strike 2. Hey, what? What is this green, red? Oh, maybe it's in the zone or not. All right. Time called as Estevez has to get the dirt out of his spikes. Oh, he chases a 4-seam. That's 1 out. Dang. All right, 1 out, 2 on. Whoops, where did I type? Sorry. I can't type. All right, 1 out, 2 on. Lefty hitter, or in the left-handed batter's box, taking on a 4-seam inside. This is Baldwin, 1 for 3. Single in the second. Really need a double here, or another single. Swung on a changeup, missed low. Strike 1. Come on, Baldwin. Estevez is set. Delivers. Changeup, a high and outside. Ball 2. All right. From the left-handed batter's box, the right-handed pitcher. They're setting up outside. Now low. Fouled off a 4-seam. 2-2. 1 away, 2 on, trailing by 1 in the top of the ninth. 3 hits and a run in the top of the ninth for the White Sox. Double, single, single. Check second. Check second again. Here's the throw. Fastball, fouled off. 96 miles per hour, four seam. We'll do it again, 2-2. All right. 6 seconds, 5 on the pitch clock. Here's the delivery. Change up, grounded. Shortstop stops it, gets the out at second. Sox down to their last out, but they have runners at the corners now, first and third, 2 away. 90 feet from tying this game up. Maybe we can get a wild pitch or a pass ball here to get the game tied up. Good play, shortstop to second. Of course, it's Bobby Witt Jr. He had a 2-run homer in the 5th. That's it. That's the game. And that, for the Royals, at least offensively. And Josh Rojas is up from the left-handed batter's box. Sorry about that. Number 5, the third base. And Estevez steps off the mound. The catcher comes out. They're all covering their face so nobody can lip read. I can't type. All right. Estevez, 17 pitches. We got 2 outs here. First and third. Here's the pitch. Change up. Foul down the right field line by Rojas. Dang. Good hit, or good swing, just a little early. Come on, need a hit here. 1 for 3 tonight for Rojas. He's set. Here's the pitch, way outside. 4-seamer, ball 1. High and outside. Pitch number 19. That was 97 miles per hour. Way out of the zone. 1-1. Estevez is set. The righty delivers. Slider, beautiful in there. Taken. Strike 2. Last strike, last bullet, last chance here for the White Sox in the 9th. The Royals fans in attendance on their feet, clapping. Estevez is set. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Strike 3 and a 4-seam fastball, and that'll do it. Game over. All right. 2-1 is your final score. Sox get 1 run, 6 hits. Royals with the 2-run homer in the 5th. That was all they needed from Bobby Witt Jr. Home run to left field. They had 2 runs, 10 hits. No errors either team. Well pitched by both clubs. Good starts by both pitchers. Cannon gets the loss. Drops to 2-4 on the season. Waka gets his 2nd win to get improved to 2-4. Urseg gets his 12th hold. Estevez with his 11th save and 13 opportunities. Let's see, 1-6, right? 1-6, 2-10. All right. White Sox dropped their 3rd in a row, and Kansas City dropped to 10-27. Royals 3 straight, at least on the Sox. Sorry, I already forgot their record. 22-16. So ignore the bottom of the 9th. That should be scratched out. My graphics won't let me do it. All right, that'll do it. Your final 4-3 So, White Sox 1, Royals 2, final. And let's see. Just a reminder, tomorrow, White Sox at Royals, Game 4. Sox hope to avoid a sweep. Friday Night Football, DC Defenders at San Antonio Brahmas, 7 p.m. Central. NBA doubleheader, Saturday afternoon, 2:30 and 7:30 at night. Sunday early UFL football at 11 a.m. Central and afternoon basketball at 2:30. Let's check. And 4-3 Maple Leafs win Game 2, take a 2-0 series lead. So I hope you enjoyed the broadcast despite the outcome. If you're a White Sox fan, congrats on the Dubs, Royals fans for 3 straight here over the Sox. And with that said, this is Sin Bin Stream signing out. Have a good evening. We'll see you early tomorrow afternoon. If not, please tune in Friday, Saturday, Sunday for football and basketball. Until that time, take care. Have